Let's start here with the local team, the Redskins. You know, there's a lot of talk, like in the last week, kind of about guys who are still here, whether it's Trent Williams or Quinton Dunbar. But what have you heard that they might do in free agency, and what do you think they need to do?
Yeah, the Redskins are one of the more interesting teams because, in theory, they have the quarterback, right? They've got Dwayne Haskins, and now it's time to build around him and actually assemble a roster that's capable of winning now that you have that guy. So, you know, I think they're also an interesting team because they've got a couple of free agents hitting the open market, but they're players that aren't necessarily at the very top of their position. Guys like Quinton Dunbar is a really underrated player that graded phenomenally well for us last season, but most people, I don't think of him as a top-level cornerback. He's got an interesting backstory because of, you know, the positions he played previously, and he'd be a guy that I think they should be desperately trying to extend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you Pro Football Focus points out that Washington really struggled in the slot, 29th in slot coverage grade and passer rating allowed. So you'd think that they maybe go out and try and get some corner help, right?
Right, and there's not that many obvious slot corner candidates out there. There's a guy like Chris Harris coming from Denver, but he is, you know, getting up there in age, and it's just not a long-term look ahead to the draft and really try and dial in there, in particular because, you know, the PFF data has shown that the guys that translate the best in terms of coming in and playing the slot at a successful level are the ones that did it at the college level. So if you can find yourself a guy that was playing the slot at a high level in college, that's the way to find yourself an immediate help in the slot.
Sam, refresh my memory for somebody who's already...
Yeah, he really has been. He's been incredible for them. He's a guy that, you know, he never graded badly for us, but the problem is in that role within that Ohio State offense, those receivers just get overlooked. They don't get shown to their full potential. And we've seen that before with guys like Michael Thomas as well. Just that position within that offense kind of leads people astray. And I think the first time we really thought the McLaurin might be something special was at the Senior Bowl when we watched him all week long in practice, and PFF grades the Senior Bowl practices, and we just saw him win consistently against everybody all week long, you know, at an all-star venue in practice. And at that point, you start to say, well, okay, this guy is better than we've seen so far. There's something more to his ability, and that's exactly what happened when he hit the NFL. He continued just dominating whoever they put in front of him, despite not having the best quarterback play in the world, you know, helping him out.
You know, let's talk about some of the other deals around the league. I gotta tell you that Taysom Hill has been so fun to watch. It's just blown me away. The way they used him, I think, is just brilliant. But I'm having a hard time with this leap that he's all of a sudden potentially could be like the heir apparent to Drew Brees. I don't necessarily see that. Now, I'm no guru, but I think the way they use him right now is amazing and perfect. Maybe he could be a great replacement for Drew Brees, but that's a bit of a stretch for me.
I mean, it's a huge stretch for anybody, I think. It's all come about because Sean Payton is like the greatest hype man in the world for Taysom Hill and has been since day one. It's kind of bizarre, the comments that have come out of his mouth regarding this guy. He was comparing him to Steve Young, you know, midway through the season. Look, Taysom Hill has been an incredible player for them. He's a great athlete. He's fun to watch. He can do everything at a pretty high level. But to project his ability as a starting quarterback at this point is complete guesswork. And I would imagine that's true even if you've seen him in practice every single day as well. It's possible he could do it. And I think, you know, with what Lamar Jackson just did in Baltimore, I think the appetite in the NFL to create a sort of custom, bespoke offense around a player with unique skills is greater than it's ever been before. So if there was ever a time to do it, now would be it. But it's just such a huge leap, and I really don't kind of understand why you would go to that trouble when there are more obvious, conventional, if you like, options out there.
Right.